Okay, I'm recording now. So, is there anything you guys want me to go through in general? Like, in terms of making a group or something? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yo,
Yo,
hear me,
yo.
yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Nice. Cool. So, from what I've seen, a bunch of people like struggling with Fusion in general. So, like, is there anything that you guys can't do at all?
That's just how do you put the pieces together?
Okay, so,
Design Fusion and shit.
huh?
Like designing on Fusion, like how do you
Oh,
do that?
okay, so basically, you guys are like, how far along are you? Do you have these pieces? Like, as you can see on my screen, on the left, I have this whole section here with a bunch of folders, and these are all the individual parts that you're gonna get on your, like, that you get as a kit. Obviously, we, like, the website that you get these parts from actually gives more parts than we actually have, so you're gonna have to find the specific parts that are actually inside your kit that you can actually use. So for example, my one here that I've started, I'm using only the parts that we have in our kit that I've identified. Like right now I have a bit of a problem on my Fusion that doesn't give me previews, but when you actually get your parts onto this like little sidebar, when you click on it, it gives you these pictures here. This is the only folder that on my one that works, but what you can do is you can just drag and drop parts, the ones that you need, and they'll just be added to your Fusion, or you can move them around and place them. But to actually create an assembly, I'll show you that later on, in a bit. Does anyone have a problem with actually getting this thing to show up?
Yeah. Like how do you get that part on Fusion?
Okay, so what you need to do, you need to go into your browser, and you're gonna have Fusion 360, like, you're gonna have your, like, little, like, control panel here, right? So when you go home, if you're your group's leader for CAD, you're gonna have a little folder here that you're gonna have to make. I don't know if all of you guys are actually responsible for producing the CAD folder, but if you want to take the leadership role, then what you need to do is you log into your Fusion on your browser, and you're gonna have a little control panel here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna create a project. Then you can name it whatever you want. For example, I named it this, but you can name it like Group 22 Project, because mine's Group 22. And you want to make sure your project is closed, so you don't want any random person joining it. Then you can choose a avatar, whatever, right? And once you've done that, you've created a project, you're gonna have this thing here, right? And what you can do here is you can actually find and invite people to your group. What you need to do is you need to input their Brunel email. So, for example, my one here, or I have some guys in my group here that pop up, but it won't pop up for you because you haven't put that email in. But you need to put in a Brunel email, and that will add people to your group. Once you've made your group, you can actually start adding content to it. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to go to a website called GrabCAD. Over here, right? And you're going to have to make an account on this website because it doesn't let you log in otherwise. And over here, or actually, there is a link on Blackboard for you guys to follow, so if you just go onto it, 1 second. It'll be in engineering practice, it'll be on learning materials, CAD workshop, I think it's on workshop teaching notes. Oh yeah, here it is, and then create a team folder. There is a slide for making a group, but it was useless when I was using it, because it doesn't really give you enough information. But the only thing I gathered from this that's very important is this link over here. If someone could like grab this and put it in the WhatsApp or something like that, that'd be very good. So, actually I can paste it into the, Yeah, I can paste into Discord. Oh wait, I have WhatsApp on my computer anyway. One second, guys. I'm just gonna put that link into the WhatsApp if it would work, but it doesn't. Right, anyway. So once you click on that link, right, you're gonna get this thing here, which is called Data of MakeBlock Parts 1. And over here is the files for every single MakeBlock part that you're gonna use for your project. So is anyone unclear on how I got to this stage so far? Or is everything like, okay? Hello?
Good.
Yeah, cool. That's nice. Alright, so once you've done that, you want to click on download files. It will download everything to your computer. And once you've downloaded it, you're gonna go onto your files, you're gonna go into downloads, and you're gonna extract this folder called Fusion Data. And it's gonna turn into 5 different folders you're gonna need to use. Over here, you're gonna see.
Oh, I extract it, yeah?
Yeah, you extract it like this. Yeah. So you
Okay,
take
okay,
this one here, and then you can extract files here. And you're gonna have a bunch of folders here. Yeah? Once you got these folders, you head back to your Fusion over here, and you press on upload. And it'll give you 3 different options: file, assembly, from Dropbox. An assembly is what you're gonna be making. Your final CAD design is called an assembly, so you're not gonna upload an assembly. You're gonna be uploading a file here.
Okay.
You go into show files, and then you wanna go into downloads. And this is the hard part. Over here, there's a lot of folders inside it. You're gonna open it up, forget about the covers, go to beams, for example. You're gonna select them all, and then you're gonna press open. And they all get uploaded to your group. See, like that. And when it finishes saving, every single group member in your group should have access to these pieces. So just to prove that it worked, I'm gonna head back onto my Fusion application, right? And I'm gonna go into my other... Oh dear, okay, I'm gonna go into my other group. Oh, it's not here. Oh yeah, yeah, make sure when you go into your Fusion you refresh it. So it gives you new stuff. But like, I don't know why it's not working for me. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I might be in the wrong place. Oh yeah. You go home. Yeah, here you go. You go home, and as you can see, Group 22 has just appeared. And over here in Group 22, you see all these pieces that I have that I just uploaded onto my browser. So now I can
You
literally just...
drag it.
Yeah, now I can
Okay,
just
yeah.
drag and drop it. So,
Yeah.
1 second, it's lagging a bit. Okay, here we go. So you just drag it, and the first time you drag a component, it's gonna take a bit, because it has to download it to your Fusion. So just be patient with it, it needs to prepare it. As you can see in the bottom corner here, it says preparing, and then it downloads it. But after that, after the first piece, you can just drag them as much as you want. So as you can see, I literally instantly
Nice.
drag the second one over there. See?
Yeah.
Cool. So
Thank
that's
you, bro.
so that's what you need to do for the actual folders and all that. Cool. So now, actually assembling the thing is a different story. You go onto your... oh, 1 second. Oh my god, my Fusion's slow again, I don't know why. Alright.
Huh? Say louder. No, it's not.
Okay, now what you need to do here, yeah, is, for example, I'm gonna just copy this bottom assembly I've made at the top, yeah? Just as an example. So what you need to do is you need to go onto the relevant folder. For me it's gonna be structural parts. Now, if you have the same problem as me, for example, here, where it doesn't show the preview, what you can do is you can go onto your GrabCAD, and it has a big list of all the components here, right? And the best thing about this Well, it's not that good because it's actually a problem because you can't do everything quickly. But if you click on the 3D previews, it will give you the name of the component that is in Fusion in the top left corner. So as you can see here, this component is called Beam 0824-160. So the one that I'm looking for is actually this one, exactly. Beam 0824/160. Make sure you cross-reference it with your actual kit. If you don't have your kit, I just say ask the guy that has your kit in your team to show you a picture of that component. What I'd recommend doing is taking a picture of every component on the kit. If you have the kit, do it. If you don't, ask them to do it, because then you can look at the picture and then you can exactly see what components you have available to you. Because you don't actually have all these components available to you. They've given us a kit that has a finite amount of pieces and not all the ones that we need. So once you have the number of it, or
was
you have,
that on purpose? Was that on purpose?
what was on purpose?
Like, they didn't give us all of it. Or we didn't get enough.
I think
You
that's
can
just
ask, innit?
I think that's just how the kits are, but you can ask, I think. I'm not sure yet, I haven't tried. Yeah. So once you have the correct name of the piece you need, you can scroll down your preview, and for example, you remember my one was 0, if I remember correctly, let me double check, 0824-160. So it's over here. Beam 0824-160.step. You just drag it out and you place it. And now you're allowed to work with this part. The first thing you're allowed to do is move it around. So as you can see, you've got the arrows to move it in X, Y, and Z coordinates. And these little circles here allow you to rotate your part. And then after that, you can position your part close to where you need it to be. And now I'll show you how to join them up. So, when you want to join them up, you're going to have a little tool up here called Joint. Joint allows you to join two parts perfectly. So in this case, I want this hole here and this hole here to align perfectly. So, the first component that you must select is the one that you're attaching to your assembly. So I'm attaching this beam to my big assembly here that I have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press on the edge of this circle and then the edge of this circle. And that lines it up literally perfectly, as you can see there. Once you've done that, you can press OK. Sometimes it might align it in a different direction that you want it to be in. And if it does that, you can just press flip, and it will flip the component for you. This usually happens when you're using screws. It might happen a bit later, and I'll show it to you if that does actually happen. But yeah, if it does happen, you can press flip. And also, you can mess around with the alignment here. So for example, offset X allows you to offset your piece by however many mils you need it to be offset by. So over here, I'm putting in 6, and it goes 6 mils in the left direction in the X-axis, for example. But usually you won't need to offset it, but if you do, you can use that as well. Also, there's another way to offset it, which is using these slider things here, and it will automatically change the number for you as well. Right, so I want mine at 180 degrees. Yeah. And once you're done placing your assembly, you press OK. And once you've done that, your piece is attached to the whole thing. So now, if I were to select everything, might take a while. There you go. Oh, I didn't select it correctly. Now, if you were to select everything and click on Move, oh. Bro. Well, say I theoretically pressed it to take everything, right, and I moved it. It would move the whole assembly as one piece because they're all connected. If you don't want it to do that, there are these little things here, which allows you to select which bodies you are gonna move. So you can actually detach these bodies, for example. So in my design here, I have a little roller wheel that moves left and right. And if I selected this in this current state now, and I moved it, it would move along with the whole assembly. But, usually, if you click on this, it allows you to select which bodies to move. For some reason it's not working for me right now, but usually that's what it does. One second, guys. Oh, here we go. So, usually these two little teeth detach and allow you to move your stuff around, but I don't know why it isn't doing that. You can also use it to animate your whole thing, which might come up later, which allows you to give an example of how your thing is moving around, which is just another thing. Yeah. So now next I'm gonna move on to like screws. Screws work in a very, very similar way to how the beams did. You're gonna go onto your parts again. You're gonna find your correct like folder for, in this case it's fasteners, and you're gonna use the right screw. Make sure you bear in mind M2, M3 and the lengths. So in this case, an M2 screw is a screw with a smaller diameter than M3. It is actually a standard, because a screw is a standard component and they will have their different names. In our case, you're probably gonna be using M3 screws a lot, because they're very big and they fit correctly with the robot. But when you have an M3 screw, it's going to be in 3 different lengths. M3 times 16, the 16 is 16 millimeters, times 20 and times 25. If I get out all 3, you can see the difference in length. So, oh, whoops, let me just undo that. Yeah, one thing that I've realized with Fusion is that it will always insert your component into the exact same place, which is something I don't know how to get rid of that. I'm not that good at Fusion yet, but as you can see here, these 3 screws are of all different lengths, so you need to make sure you bear in mind which screw you need to use, because using a screw that's too long might make it hard for you to work in a tight space, and you just want to bear that in mind. So in this case, to join these 2 components here, I'm only going to need to use a 3x16 screw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag a 16 screw, and I'm going to move it close to the hole that I am needing to assemble. So in this case, it will be near this hole here. Oh, give me a second. Now, what you want to do is you want this edge to go in line with this edge here. So you use the same tool we did as before, the joint tool, and you click on the edge of the screw that you want to sit flush with the plate that you're attaching it to, and you click on the edge that you want the screw to go in, and it will get aligned to it. And as you remember last time I said it might go in backwards. So what you do in this case is you just press flip, and it will flip the screw into the correct position. So like, see, like that. Also, Fusion automatically makes any components that are blocking the component that you're working with transparent. So as you can see, my screw is now perfectly going through this hole and is aligned much better than it would be if you dragged the screw in manually. Once you press OK, your screw is now in place and you're ready to put a nut onto the other side. So you can scroll up and you also have your nuts. Bear in mind there are 2 different types of nuts in Fusion that we have here from GrabCAD. One of them is a normal nut, and you want to make sure you use the correct nut as well. An M2 one's too small, M4 is too big, M3 is the one that you need to use. You're going to have a normal nut, and you're going to have a locking nut, and you want to keep this in mind, because a locking nut, when you have a nut, a normal nut, that doesn't have a locking feature, it will come loose after a lot of time, after using especially on a moving component. If you have a nut that's connected to a motor or something, then it will get loose, it will unscrew itself. A locking nut has a little like nylon thread thing here that actually causes friction and helps the nut stick onto the thread. So if you want to attach two things and make sure they don't come loose, you want to use these nuts if they're included in your kit. For me, I don't know, my ones aren't in my kit, so I might need to ask for them, but they should give you these types of nuts. So make sure you know the difference. Alright. So to attach the nut to your component, you now want to grab your nut. You want to move it close to the screw that you're working with. So in this case, it would be over here. Sometimes it is a bit tough to like orientate yourself using Fusion. So just bear that in mind. So like for this, in this case, like I'm a bit lost. 1 second. Here you go. So now the nut is almost by the thing. Jesus. One second. There we go. Alright. So now when you have your nut and your screw close to each other, you can use the joint tool. And you click on the edge of the nut, and you want to click onto the edge of the screw that you want it to attach to. And it will align itself to it. And then, going from a side profile, you can use the arrow to put the nut to its tightest position. Fusion usually will detect if there's an edge of a component, and it will stop it for you. But if you keep pushing the nut, it will go into the actual component. So you want to be careful that it's sitting flush with your component. And when you press enter or OK, it will be finished. And you have a component that is attached using a screw and a nut. And that's basically how you're going to build your robot, using this joint tool and using nuts and bolts. If you want to attach a motor, you need to use the corresponding component, which is called a motor mount. My design, for example, doesn't have a place for a motor yet, but say I wanted to add a motor here. I'll give an example quickly. You're gonna grab this thing called 25mm motor bracket. Someone was in the WhatsApp asking for this component. I'll have to upload it there probably. And you want...
Yo, how do you know all of this?
Huh?
How do you know all of this?
Oh, I did an extended diploma instead of A-levels. And they taught me CAD.
No way.
Junior. And
Oh,
before...
yeah.
Yeah, so I did that for 2 years, and I learnt Fusion 360. And the 2 years before that, I did, it was during my GCSEs. I did my GCSEs, and I did a thing in I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
No, it was a different, like, it's completely gone out of my mind. It's another engineering course, but I used SolidWorks for that course. And that's another different type of CAD program. So I used SolidWorks for 2 years, and Fusion for roughly 2 years as well. So, because of that...
Your experience, bro.
It's a bit of experience, but like, there's still a lot to learn. I don't know how to use it perfectly, and I'm sure there's still people that are better than it, but I was just wanting to teach it, so... But yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Alright, no worries then. Yeah, that should be about enough for you guys to know, like, how to assemble it. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah.
Wait, bro. Basically, how do you think? I got the files here.
Yeah.
How do I think? How do I upload them?
Oh, I was doing that earlier. Were you here earlier?
I was.
Oh, I showed it how to do it. Basically, let me just
forgot.
go for it. Yeah, okay. No worries. So you got your fusion team here. I'll just do it again for you quickly, yeah? So you've made a fusion team. Let me go to this other project I made just for example. So over here, I've got this group 22 project folder, for example, alright? You're gonna make a folder. Don't do it like this because it's a bit messy.
Okay, yeah.
So make a new folder here, and you're gonna name it something. So for example, I named this, let's say for example I'm gonna do fasteners, right? I'll make a fastener folder, and then you open the folder. Are you with me?
Yeah. Wait.
Cool. Tell me when you finish the folder.
Nah, bro. How? I wasn't in with the teams thing.
Oh, are you the team leader? Are you a team leader or not?
Nah, we haven't even made a team. I don't know about that.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't even know you made a team.
So before that, that's how. So basically, you're gonna have something that looks like this, right? Right? This is your control
Where?
panel. When you log in onto like Chrome or Opera or Firefox or whatever, are you on
Yeah.
Fusion 360? You have a control panel, right? You should have a control panel that looks something like this. Basically, it will look like what I have right here on my screen. We'll have three things. We'll say admin project, assets, and default project. You want to ignore these. These have nothing to do with you. These are like literally useless, right?
Mhm.
You're gonna make a project. There's a button here that says create project. Right? You
Mhm.
see that, right?
Yeah.
When you do that, you're gonna have a project name, and you'll make a project type closed because you only want to invite people from your project to join. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Once you do that, you click on create project, and that will give you something like this. Yeah.
Mm.
Then you click on this. You go into project members, and you click on invite, and you put the
Invite.
Brunel. You put the Brunel email
Okay.
of everyone that you need, right? And make sure you give them the role of editor, so they can actually do something. Later on, you can upgrade them to project admin, which allows them to actually upload and do stuff in their folders. So yeah, I'd recommend just making everyone an admin.
Okay.
Make sure
Yeah.
they're not a viewer, because then they can't do anything in the Fusion, right?
Mhm.
Once you do that, you go on content,
Great.
and that's when you make the folder.
For the
So you can
and then
name it
upload
whatever.
it.
Yeah. You have the files downloaded, right?
Yeah, I have downloaded.
Yeah.
it.
You go on upload, and you click on file. You go on
Yeah.
show all files, and then you go into the the thing that you need. So for example, I made mine fasteners. So you go
Press on-
into
yeah.
and then what you do is you select them all like this,
Okay, calm.
and then
yeah,
you press
yeah. Get it.
open, and then they will get uploaded instantly. You just need to wait for them to get uploaded and saved. And once you've done
Yeah.
that, you go into your Fusion and you refresh this panel here.
Okay, okay.
And once
Yeah.
you've refreshed it, it should appear, and you got everything under control basically.
Alright.
Cool. That's about it.
Good deal. Thank you, bro.
No worries, yeah.
Honestly, bro. Wow,
Yeah.
love, bro. Thank you. I gotta go.
Okay, no worries.
Today.
So is there anything
What's
else?
the name?
Mantas.
Mantas, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
No worries. Is there anyone else that needs any help with Fusion? Was that it? Because I'm just gonna upload the recording to WhatsApp.
Wait, so you do all that on Fusion online, right?
No. You can download Fusion to your device, but you can do it online as well. I'd recommend downloading it to your device because the online version streams it to your computer, and there's a bit of a delay when you use it, which makes it a bit harder to use. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, so like open all the group work and everything. You can do that.
Oh,
The
all
downloaded one, right?
Oh no! All the group work
Like
stuff.
opening
Oh no!
all the stuff you need.
No, the thing that I just showed, the control panel, you do that
Control
online.
panel and all. You can do that on the downloaded one, right?
No, you can't do that on the downloaded one. You have to do it online.
What?
So basically, you need to do, your account is connected between, there's a Fusion 360 app, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it on Fusion, but I find it less intuitive to use it. You can do it actually. So if you go on Group 22, you go on Upload, and you do the same thing here. See? So if you look at my screen right now,
Yeah.
so right now, I'll go home. You have all your projects. You can make a new project here, and you name it whatever you want. You go onto your project here. Oh, 1 second. And then you can go upload, select files, and you do the exact same things that I showed you before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Cool. But I'd recommend using a browser though, because it's you get a bit more control when you're using the browser here. Okay. Anyone else? No? Okay, cool. I'll finish recording.